What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Candy Tarot YouTube channel. Shout out to every one of you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate every single, even if this is your first time watching, just know that your boy loves you. And thank you for stopping by. Now, if you really real, you will go ahead and subscribe. But you can do that after you got your reading. But welcome, you guys. Today is another video, a new video, so that in itself is a celebration. But it's also the second video of this month's edition of love only videos that I'm going to be doing, because we're going to be exploring romantic love this entire month, because for some reason people have it confused that I, for some reason, anti-love, and this is just to prove the naysayers wrong. No, but also it's something that I thought would be fun. But today's topic is entitled, when will your next love cycle begin? Now, let me give you a few disclaimers before we get right into it. This is mainly directed towards singles. However, because I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be watching this, whether they're single, there's going to be people who've been married, there's going to be people who's in committed relationships for X amount of years, and that's okay too, because we are talking about the next cycle, meaning whatever stage in love that you are currently in, we will be describing what's next, right? Pretty much. But I believe more so than actual time frames or dates or seasons that Spirit will give you, I think they're really going to focus on certain circumstances or certain milestones that you will achieve that will let you know when the new love cycle is about to begin, or other clues that they feel is important that you need to know. So keep that in mind as well, okay? But this should be a fun reading. This should be something that will let you know kind of where you are, especially for those of you guys who are single, let you know how close you are to meeting someone. Yeah, just give you some clues about what's going on and what's at the very least about to happen. And so yeah, something to get you excited about, something and just so you know, time is obviously subjective. That's not something that I need to say, but I feel like I have to say it for the people in the back. But time is subjective, so just know that if you do get a time frame or something like that, that it could definitely be changed and altered by just maybe the littlest things, whether it's a thought, whether it's other factors that have nothing to do with you. Just know that time is a human construct, not a spiritual one, okay? With all that being said, though, please choose from these piles. We have pile number 1 with the citrine stone. We also have pile number 2 with the rose quartz, pile number 3 with the saldilite, as well as pile number 4 with that beautiful amethyst stone. So with that being said, you guys, please choose with your gut and now with your eyes, and I will catch you at your reading. Cheers! What is up, pile number 1? This is for those who picked the citrine stone. We're about to find out, when will your next love cycle begin? The cards that they gave us are, we have the Justice card in reverse. Ding. This deck you probably won't be able to see that much because the light is super reflective. But we can still try. We also have the Knight of Cups. We also have one of my favorite cards, the Fool. We have number 7, Seek the Truth. This is also the 7 of Swords. This is number 96. This is also Forgiveness. We also have number 6, Contract in reverse. We also have Fog Veiled. I'm sorry, if I was like taking pauses in between, it's because they're already talking and I want to get through introducing the cards first. We have Easy Does It. And we also have choose a new direction, as well as this card that we'll get into later. All right, pile number 1. So here's the deal. With this group, I do feel like majority of you guys are single, if not all of you guys are single. I also feel that with this group, the overall energy feels like you guys will be you guys will be interacting or just coming into contact and experiencing a lot of connections prior to this love cycle. And not all these connections that you encounter will be pleasant. Just saying that. And the reason why is because a lot of those, including some of the good ones, are meant to teach you a lesson. There's a lesson, there's an opportunity for growth that your spirit team wants you to experience. So there are going to be some indications of okay, this is the type of person that I would want around me. This is the type of person that I don't want around me. So there's discernment that is being developed, and also you creating boundaries as well. With this group, it's like, ironically, I feel like you guys, this is a psychic bunch. Like, I feel like you don't have to do what I do, but what I mean is that you have a very heightened intuition in this group. So ironically, I feel like a lot of times you do fall for people who don't necessarily have your best interest in mind, or who don't necessarily want to reciprocate in a connection as much as you do. You know, there's going to be people who are also even sneaky that you may deal with on this journey. And the point is not to make you go through torture, but it's really to have you develop a sense of discernment, so that maybe one time, the first time, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. That's kind of what they're saying as well. It's like, you learn from your mistakes. You learn from seeing how people move, and now you know the type of people that you want to be around. This especially goes for romantic love. Some of you guys could have definitely had a bad batch of suitors, bad batch of relationships, but they're still good in that, because like I said, a lot of these, you learned a lot. And I feel like how you'll know when this new love cycle is near is when you have developed a sense of, once again, discernment, but also, who do you want to be around with? Who do you feel like you deserve? And who deserves you, essentially. It's about taking that type of stance, because we're not letting anyone in this circle. Not just anyone. I'm not going to say that these people have to jump through hoops, or these people have to audition. But what I am saying is that it's almost as like you have to know your worth. You should know your worth, and you should know what you deserve. Now, I also say this. I do feel like with this group, the beginning, the new cycle is very imminent. Very imminent. So I do feel like a lot of you guys have already either completed this, or have already achieved this, or are in the midst of this currently. But I do feel like besides that, I feel like everything else you have no control over. Like, there's other factors. I even see like the person that's coming in next, they could be going through other things in their life that could maybe delay some certain situations. But I feel like besides what they just gave you as the intro, or as a synopsis, everything else is out of your control, and it's more so like, well, I did all that I could, and now I just pretty much wait patiently, but not tirelessly, and restlessly, but contently. All right, so let's begin. We have the Justice card in reverse, baby. So definitely divine timing is at work here, but also it's not this is what I mean. It's other factors playing a part. I feel like a lot of you guys feel like life maybe could be, maybe just not just your romantic life, but maybe also your career life. There's a sense of everything needs to be on point. Everything needs to be in balance. Everything needs to be on this same alignment, I feel. I also feel like, once again, this is referring to something that has nothing, that goes above, beyond your control and comprehension, that's also happening, meaning there's other things behind the scenes that's taking place, such as if spirit is trying to get you and this next person together, they could also still be working on that person to see where they're at so that you guys can meet same place, same time, or same circumstances. But overall, I feel like there's going to be a truth that's also revealed about this love cycle that isn't necessarily ready for you at the very moment. I also feel like this truth could be something that you guys actually discover within yourselves. This is an inner truth. But I also feel like this could mean, for a lot of you guys, the next person that's coming through is going to be maybe your opposite, in a sense that there could be other factors that maybe other people would be like, oh, well, y'all, I don't know how y'all became a couple, when how you guys react, how you guys feel with each other, it makes perfect sense why you guys are a couple. But I think there could be other factors that could maybe make people question why you guys are even together, when spirit's like, no, it actually makes perfect sense. So there is, there's a way that you guys will complement each other. Your differences will actually make you guys a stronger unit. But for others of you guys, there's also an ending of, whether it's a marriage contract, or this could be like a business contract or a business opportunity. It could be an ending of that or a beginning of that. And that goes for either you or this person that's coming in next. Let's begin. Or let's continue, I'm sorry. We also have the Knight of Cups. This person that's coming through, they will come to you when they're ready. Now, I have to say this as well. You kind of, once again, don't necessarily need to do much when it comes to, like, I feel like this is the group in which you guys have had to learn not to have as much control, or try to really control situations. There's people out there who would maybe, like, let's just say there was a tarot reader that you've watched, right? And they said, oh, this person's coming in March. I feel like a lot of you guys in this group will be the type of person to really depend on that time frame and mark their calendars and really try to force the situation to happen. And I feel like a lot of you guys are having to learn how to let go of that. And just surrender to just going with the flow and letting the universe do what it does. And the reason why I say that is because the person that's coming to you will come to you. This is not something that you have to search for. Now, granted, you may have to still put yourself in situations, but not with the intentions of trying to find a mate. But you still may have to put yourself in situations like, maybe you still have to go to work, or maybe you still have to go to school, or maybe you have to accept that invitation to go to that party if you want. But the person that's coming through is going to be someone who is going to seek you out, and they will 100% be available and ready to love. The person that's coming through is also, they're showing me the 9 of Cups image, so definitely a wish come true, a product of your manifestation. But I also kind of feel like it's fated though, so I guess it's both. It's a product of manifestation, but it's more so like this is something that's already been agreed upon prior to incarnation. So yeah, the 9 of Cups also symbolizes like, this is kind of like the waiting game for you for a lot of you guys. And it's because you're waiting for someone to come, but it's more so like, the idea is to wait, but not necessarily wait with the intentions like, yo, will it be today? No, still live your life, still have fun, still enjoy life, still be content with your own solidarity or your own solitude, and live life like normal. But once again, I get the sense that you guys are in the process, or maybe have just already learned how to let go of the specifics on how this is going to happen, or when is it going to happen, and just allowing the universe to make it happen for you when it's right. Now, we also have the Fool card here, and I love this card. I love the Fool card, as I assume most people do, because it means new beginning. It's a new love cycle that's beginning right here, in the flesh, just kidding. But for some of you guys, it's going to require taking a leap of faith or taking a risk of sorts. Some of you guys, it's going to require you guys to actually leave a connection, because they're showing me the Devil card, so I have to address this. Some of you guys, it's going to require leaving a existing relationship in order to start a new, more healthier one. I also feel like for some of you guys, it's the devil, the image of the Devil card that they gave me. It's whatever it is for you that you feel could be weighing you down, whether it's a job that you hate, a relationship that you don't necessarily feel like it's progressing, or there isn't much purpose for you to be continuing that relationship, or maybe because it is a negative environment that the relationship creates. Or for some of you guys, it could be something that you are holding on to, such as resentment or feelings, ill feelings towards someone. You know what I mean? And for others of you guys, the risk could simply just mean that you are opening up again, maybe after being hurt or being betrayed in some sorts, or being lied to, you know. So there is some sort of risk that you have to take. It's a risk for you. It may not be a risk for everyone. Like, people may look at it and be like, girl, what's the problem? Like, just do it. But for you, it feels like a risk. But once again, number zero, the Fool card indicates a new beginning with infinite amount of possibilities. Next card that we have is number 7. This is Seek the Truth. This is the 7 of Swords. Once again, I feel like this group is very psychic, very intuitive. I feel like a lot of times you know what's going on. Like, for example, if you are in a relationship and I feel like chances are you'll be able to tell whether or not this person is lying or this person is doing something. Like, your intuition is very heightened, especially when it comes to connections and relationships. But I feel like a lot of times you guys don't necessarily want to see or want to even validate that could be the case, or like if something bad is happening, or if there's signs that let you know who a person truly is. I feel like a lot of you guys choose to ignore it. But this is more so like, yo, face it and deal with it. But once again, we're talking about discernment. Once again, we're talking about people's true colors, and for you to kind of see right through them. And this is something that, once again, could have been heightened due to experiences that you may have dealt with, that maybe someone betrayed you, someone lied to you, someone cheated on you. I don't know what the case may be, but I feel like that experience helped you see people in a way where nothing gets by you anymore. So that's something that has to be developed, or will be developed along this path. And I feel like once you get a good sense of really knowing who people are and being able to trust, them again, or trust the people that you feel are intuitively, you just intuitively know is good, or you just, maybe there's other signs that you can see that will prove for them to be good and you trust them. I feel like that's going to be a huge milestone for this cycle to come through and begin. So 100% with this next card, number 96. Forgiveness. Number 96 equals 15, but also 6. So I do feel like the person's coming through next is definitely a soulmate connection. It's definitely a connection in which both of you guys, the spirit team, are both trying to make this happen. It's a connection that has been already agreed upon prior to incarnating in this world. It's also a connection which has a lot riding on it. And I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but I have to say, if spirit is getting super involved in this type of connection, that I feel there is something more to be done with you two as a union. But overall, this card, I feel like 100%, these are the people who dealt with experiences that weren't necessarily the most pleasant. Like, you saw how maybe there was once upon a time there were people who used to treat you horribly, or who didn't necessarily respect you enough in order to give you the truth, or really they did some things behind your back. And a lot of you guys could still be holding resentment. And this is something that you can actively let go. You can do this by calling Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is great for this type of thing. Also Archangel Raphael. You guys can do a cording session, because essentially that's what's happening, is that there's still a part of you that is still energetically connected to them. If you ended the connection, that's how it should be. Ending in the sense that we're no longer tied, even if it's energetically. But because this resentment is still pronounced, for some of you guys, it's like this person is still there. If that makes sense. So if that is something that you identify, this is something that for sure we're going to have to work on and completely eradicate. And I think forgiveness, the word forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that they have to ask for it as well. And that's hard for a lot of people to do, especially when people feel like they don't deserve it. They don't deserve my forgiveness. But that's not the point. The point is you forgive them. So you release any type of resentment, ill feelings toward them. Now, you ain't got to be best friends with them. You got to reconnect. We're not saying that. But what we are saying is that we need to let go completely of any type of energetic ties to people that we've left in the past. We also have number 6 once again. So I'm going to say this again, because now they're showing me the Lover's card image. The person that's coming towards you is definitely someone who you're meant to be with. So this next relationship, and for those of you guys who may, which I don't really feel like a lot of you guys are, but for those of you guys who may still be in a relationship, and if it's positive and there's no toxic elements towards it, this is going to be a higher level type of commitment. Higher level type of commitment. And I'm even tempted to say that this connection has more to do than just love. There could be a bigger picture that you guys will be a part of. But needless to say, if I feel that way, these challenges or these obstacles that you've dealt with when it comes to relationships were absolutely important. absolutely important. And I feel inclined to also say that the person that's coming in next have also gone through the same journey, similar. And I think this is something that you guys will relate on. But getting back to the contract, for some of you guys, the person that's coming through is currently leaving a divorce. I hope that y'all not one of these. No disrespect to anybody's cultures, but I know that in some particular cultures, people being divorced is such a big deal. It's such a big deal, and I'm just like, to me, it adds a stigma to like, oh, damaged goods. When why is that such a thing? Like, why is it someone being divorced? Why is that someone actually chose to, do something that they felt was best for them in order to really have a more fulfilling love life? Why is that such a bad thing? And I'm gonna say this one time because I was watching this Netflix show, and it was a dating show, and it was very. If you know what you should know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to make it very single out one particular group, but. I was watching this. It wasn't a dating show, but it was about a matchmaker, and how she would match two people together, two eligible, I guess, bachelor and bachelorette together. One of her clients was so pissed because the person that she set this client with used to be divorced, and that wasn't something that was mentioned prior. And tell me why this client said she couldn't do it because of that reason. Excuse me? See, that's why you're okay. Let me not go into her, because I was going in on her while watching it. I'm like, you. But either way, I get the sense that you guys are not like that, but I just had to mention that because that reminded me of that. But yeah, for some of you guys, the person that you're going to be meeting next in this new love cycle could already be, they're exiting a marriage. So, and that's the biggest message that I get with this card. I don't really get much of anything else. But once again, that goes in line with the fact that there are other factors playing a part. Now we also have fog, veil. A lot of hidden things that are happening behind the scenes that has nothing to do with you, that's way above your head, that the universe is dealing with, that your spirit team are dealing with, that person's spirit team is dealing with. Like, there's a lot of things, because once again, I get the sense that this relationship is really being brought together for even a bigger purpose than just love. And so it's like going with the flow, but it's like taking more of a passive approach to love, pretty much, and being assured and knowing that it's coming, and just letting the universe and spirit team do what they need to do. Easy Does It also pretty much reiterates that we're going with the flow. Passive approach. No more waking up and thinking that and hoping that love is coming. No more marking your calendars like, oh, Kenny Terrell said that this person's supposed to be coming in June. No more walking out the house with the sole purpose of trying to find somebody else. Like, still live your life normally. Yeah. Choose a new direction. I feel like overall, once again, this is referring to those of you guys who have been trying to be a lot more active when it comes to bringing this new cycle in, and Spirit's more like, no, try a different approach, which would be the more passive approach. Yeah, you know what happens when you do put that much energy and that much effort in trying to make this happen? you're often met with frustration and disappointment. So, for those of you guys who resonate with that message, because that's really the only message that I'm getting from that, it's important that you allow the universe to do what it does. And, there's just some things that are not necessarily meant for you to actually see and know until it's ready. Yeah. It's like, I don't know why they're giving me this example, but it's like, if you guys ever baked anything, such as a cake, right? And we put the timer on it to let us know that we're done, right? But you're the type of person who will continually open the stove to see if that cake is ready. Continue letting all the heat out, but continue opening and see if it's ready when it's not ready yet. You'll know it's ready when you hear that ding from the timer. So hopefully that example that they gave me makes sense to you. The last card that we have is, dun dun dun, because this video has been going too long and I do apologize for that, is yoke. Feeling tied down or frustrated. I think they've already mentioned that word frustrated. I think it was referring to those of you guys who have been trying to actively make this happen when that's not what you're supposed to be doing. This is more of a passive approach. The only thing that I can tell you that is something that you can actively do is ensuring that you understand the concept of discernment and boundaries and what it is or the type of people that you want around you. But other than that, that's it. Everything else is kind of going to happen naturally. So this is not a time to feel frustrated. It's a time to feel content and assured that everything's happening when it's supposed to, that you are where you're supposed to be when it comes to love. But like I said before, because the Fool card is here, the beginning, this new love cycle is very, very imminent. So I have to assume that a lot of you guys have done a lot of the things that was stated. If not, this is something that you definitely will accomplish very soon. And this new romantic offer will be on your doorstep. Maybe literally. So, pile number 1, I hope that you enjoyed that. Sorry for going too long. You know how spirit gets. But if you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up? Pile number 2. This is for those who pick the rose quartz crystal. We're about to find out, when will your next love cycle begin? The cards that they gave us are, we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. We also have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. We also have number 14. This is balance. This is also the Temperance card. We have number 10, karmic completion. We also have number 5. This is attachment in reverse. We have full moon completion. We have patience, please. We have you're ready. And this card that we'll get into later. So pile number 2. This group, you guys are absolutely, this is the final stage of the last cycle. You're in the final stage of this current cycle that you're currently in before this new one comes through. But the thing is about it, this is the group in which the ball's in your court. The cycle starts with you. The cycle starts with a decision that you make. And I have to tell you, you're going to come to a crossroads. If you have yet to come to the crossroads, this is what you're headed towards. It's a crossroad between two choices, between maybe two people. Chances are it's going to be between two people. But this last cycle, let's get back to that. This last cycle, it's the final exam for you. The final exam before you graduate into the new cycle. The reason why I say that is because this whole cycle was about learning and growing, especially if you guys are recovering from a past relationship. So this final exam is really universe's way of saying, like, did you actually learn the lesson? And I feel as though it's not nothing that you should be afraid of. It's not something that you should be scared of, because the universe does not want you to fail, obviously. But that is a fear of yours, to possibly fail at love again like last time. But you're gonna pass. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure that you do. Let's begin. Two of Swords in reverse. This is the crossroads. This is the stalemate. This is where you are in the middle, caught in the middle between, both directions are pulling you. And I believe for a lot of you guys, this is involving three people. This is like a triangle of sorts. You're in the middle, one person right here, one person right here. It's three people. So you're at the crossroad because you kind of have to choose. And this decision that you're going to make will begin the new love cycle. When you finally say, you know what? I choose you. You have the rose, or you have the clock if you're Flavor Flav. Okay, so the Two of Swords, yes, it does indicate a choice needed to be made so that we can move forward. And I feel like for pretty much everyone that's in this group, it's involving two people, two love interests. You got to choose. There is one person, though, obviously, that is going to be the best fit. Because that's what we're talking about, is the best fit for you. Not about what society wants, not about what mom and daddy wants for you, not about what your friends think that you should be with. No, it's not about that. What do you believe you want, or what do you believe that you should pursue? It's about your feelings only. But we'll give you the cheat sheet. The cheat sheet is with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. It's going to be somebody who, it's about feeling in this case, as it should always be, but that's not always the case, because I get the sense for you guys, it's really going to be down to how you feel with them. Like, one person could be very good, look very good on paper. Maybe they have an amazing career. Maybe, they have, other qualities on paper that would see them to be a good fit. But when you meet them, it's completely different. Maybe there's no spark. Maybe there's nothing. But on paper, they're the perfect match. And I think a lot of people would be like, yo, why aren't you going with them? Versus someone who maybe on paper doesn't necessarily have the best career or the most financially lucrative career. This is just an example, by the way. But I'm just saying, versus the other person who may not have the best career or who may not necessarily have a lavish lifestyle. However, they're thoughtful. They allow you to really be yourself. That's what we're going to also get into, because that's what they want to talk about. They allow you to be yourself. They care about your days, and it's completely and totally invested in you and really making this, or hopefully making this a actual union. It's someone who's going to reciprocate. Because I feel like with you, it's like you give your all and you're really engaged into the like the talking stage, especially. I feel like you're definitely someone who definitely types, like if it's like texting, you're someone who definitely writes a lot, right? Your messages are like paragraphs. And the person that's going to be right for you is going to be someone who's also writing in response with paragraphs. That's just an example, but you guys know what I mean. Someone who's going to put extra effort versus you writing a long paragraph and then someone is just giving you K, not even a full sentence, just K period. That infuriates me, by the way. Infuriates me to beyond belief, like you don't even understand. But that's what I'm getting. That's just an example to maybe the bigger picture. But it's going to be someone who reciprocates. And I kind of feel like you've dealt in the past, you dealt with people and you've kind of had to agree, you kind of had to just play along, just get along, feeling like, okay, then maybe this is how relationships are supposed to be. Absolutely not. So remember that. That's gonna be how you figure out the answer. That's also gonna be where you find your most, they show me the sun card image, so you're going to find the most happiness and enjoyment from doing this. And it's going to be the people who makes you feel good, make you feel happy. And it may not necessarily be what people would expect you to be with or people would advise you to be with, but they wouldn't know. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is about, I don't know if you guys been in relationships in which you do not have a safe space in which you can freely express how you feel without repercussions. But there's our relationships like that. That's just an example, but I get the sense that the person to choose is going to be the person in which you feel uninhibited when it comes to your emotions and your feelings. And I think a lot of times you maybe feel like, yo, I shouldn't say that, or maybe you feel like you can't say these things, but this is going to be someone who invites that, encourage that type of communication. And I feel like this is going to be someone that you maybe reveal things about yourself that you haven't even said to people that you've known for years. You know what I mean? It's that type of true connection, open, honest communication. Those are the clues. But once again, it's going to be hard for you in a sense, because it's a test, it's a challenge. So it's not going to be, it's not meant to be easy. But the answer lies in how you feel. The person that is also the choose is really your match. We have the 14. This is the balance card. The person is your match. Your match. It fits like a glove. The connection between you and this person is easy. It's natural. I don't have to put effort. I don't have to put extra effort. I don't feel like I'm doing all the heavy lifting, especially when it comes to communicating. It's easy. It feels good. It's natural. You guys complement one another as well. You guys have similar beliefs and perspectives with you and this person, but you guys do have differences as well. But your differences don't cause strife. It doesn't cause any type of toxic environment. It actually causes improvement. You and this person's differences will blend together beautifully. And that will be the difference between person A and person B. This is a soulmate that we're talking about. I think there is a high probability that both people could actually be soulmates. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, that happens. But that's when people usually say the term, oh, well, this is my true soulmate, this is my false soulmate, or, false twin flame, that type of deal. And essentially, I don't really like the term false because they too have a purpose, in why you're coming into contact with them. They're just not they're just not there just to fool you. But, that's just an example of what I feel is going on. Speaking of which, karmic soulmate possibly is another term that people use, but we have number 10, we have karmic completion. Yeah, once again, this is the final test of this cycle so that this new cycle can happen. Now, I can't say that the universe is going to consider that maybe person A or whoever the person is that you don't necessarily feel as connected to, like all the things that they just described already, if that's not something that you feel while exploring the connection, it's not to say that even if you chose a person that just looks good on paper, that you can have a great relationship out of that. Excuse me, for some reason I want to sneeze. Excuse me. Never snuzz. Snuzz, like, how did I just make up a new past tense version of a word? I never snuzzed on camera before. Anyways, but yeah, it's not to say that even if you chose a person that just looks good on paper, it's not to say you guys can have a great relationship or maybe longevity. It's not to say that. But I strongly feel that whoever this other person is this is what I'm getting. I'm getting like a soulmate, someone who's maybe completely different than what you're used to, and that's the problem. Or that's the test, actually. It's because there's one person who's very familiar, maybe an ex, or maybe someone who is reminiscent of the ex or the people that you used to date, versus someone who's completely brand new. It makes you feel something different. And in this case, different is good. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel very open, and it's okay to be honest and open and vulnerable. Now, it's different, but it's a good kind of different. So it's like something familiar and something different. In this case, different is the way to go. But once again, I feel like both options could create a viable relationship, but there is only one of them where you truly will be happy. So remember that. We have attachment in reverse. Once again, this is the lesson. The test is letting go of something that you're used to, letting go of something that you had in the past, and it's showing up again for this final exam, because we have to make sure that you understood the lesson. For some of you guys, this is an actual ex of yours. For others of you guys, it is the type of person that you normally would date, and the issue was never you. It was really the type of people that you would attract. And that's partly because some of you guys probably felt like that's what you deserve, or maybe that's something that you felt like that's how all relationships are, and when that's not the case. So it's about leaving this behind. And I almost feel like for a lot of you guys, it's about really completely destroying all the things that you once thought about relationships, all the things that you once believed relationships should be. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's being personified in one of the options, and essentially that's the option to avoid, because we're done with that. We moved past that. We need a little bit more. I'm getting depth. They're saying more depth. Some of you guys, I feel like you've dealt with relationships that maybe look great on paper, and maybe other people looked at you guys like, oh my God, you guys are perfect for each other, when behind the scenes, that wasn't the case. disconnection, not necessarily feeling love, all these other concerns. But everybody will see y'all and be like, oh my God, why did y'all break up? Y'all were perfect for each other. Not realizing that you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Versus maybe entering a new relationship, which people may not be like, okay, y'all are a odd couple. Why? Because you say so? Or because you can't really open your mind and realize that connections could really be made more in different, with different individuals. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is the test. It's seeing that if you can really remove yourself from what you're used to and explore something new that's going to be more fulfilling, more loving, and more happiness. Full moon completion, once again, it speaks about this cycle that's getting ready to end, really, for you. Yeah, we're at the end of this cycle and starting a new one. Sorry if I mixed my words up, but we're ending this old cycle and starting a new. And it begins with the action that you place. Because we have the full moon here, I have to say this is something that you really have to intuitively feel. It's about feelings. Once again, we're talking about feelings, not what looks good on paper or what everyone else is saying is good for me or good for you. How do you feel? This is, with this card, patience please. You're being advised to really take your time with this. There's no need to rush. There's no need to rush. And I think these two individuals are not going anywhere. And once again, if you have yet to really, I do feel like this is current actually. I really feel like this is current for a lot of you guys. And if not, it's highly indicated that this is something that you'll be experiencing quite soon. But you making a decision is something that you can't take it lightly, is what they're saying. So take your time when you do this. But they're giving you enough clues as to what decision to make. And I think even if you know that, even while knowing which decision is right for you, it still may be a tough thing for you to do. We also have you're ready. The new love cycle is begging to begin. Begging to begin. Some could even argue maybe it was overdue. But I do feel like for some of you guys, okay, another message that they're also saying is that for some of you guys, the choice could be from, and I'm not endorsing anything, you're just gonna have to follow your heart. But some of you guys, it could be, the decision could be between the person that you're currently with and a new person as well. And the fear that I feel like a lot of you guys who picked this pile are going through is the fear of failure, the fear of making the wrong choice as well. But, like I said, I feel like you will intuitively know which choice is the right one. But I do feel like it's still going to be, although it's going to be a hard one for you to make still, your feelings will be undeniable. Your heart, it would just be undeniable. Because I almost get the sense that if you choose the other one that doesn't necessarily make you feel as open and as good and as happy as the other one, it's like I still see a successful marriage, but I don't necessarily see happiness. And if that's important to you, then listen to what Spirit is trying to. This is like the night before the final exam, where we do it all nighter. And I feel like you've been doing well in this cycle. You learn all that you're supposed to. So it would be a shame if the lesson wasn't necessarily, because I don't think you're going to, it wouldn't be considered a failure even if you chose the other person. But at the same time, we're trying to get the best possible results for you. So it's like you can still pass the class with a C, but we want to get an A, right? And there's nothing to fear. Like the card says, you are ready to make this decision. And this love cycle really wants to begin. The ball's in your court. The last card that we have is Crown. This is honor and respect will come to you. I have to tell you, I really feel like that's in reference to the person that you're meant to be with. They're going to treat you, the difference between person A and person B, how they're going to treat you will be night and day. Night and day. Now they may both treat you in a way that makes you feel good, but there's something different about how the other one person is treating you. This is one person is, they see you as an equal, and I almost get the sense that the other person does not. They see you as an equal, and if there isn't an imbalance as far as how they see you, it would be you're on a higher pedestal than they are, and they're perfectly fine with that. But overall, this is someone who views highly of themselves, but they also view highly of you, and they treat you as such. The crown indicates royalty, so this does, you're not going to be confused of how this person feels about you. You're going to feel loved, you're going to feel heard. I'm not sure why they're saying that, but you're going to feel heard. And you're going to be revered in ways that you've never have been. In ways that you've always felt that you deserved, but maybe never got. The person that's coming through, it feels Emperor. They're showing me the Emperor image. For those of you guys who, I don't necessarily talk about this, even though I do believe it. For those of you guys who believe in the twin flame concept, it's very likely that you will be experiencing that. Very likely. I believe in it, I just don't necessarily talk about it as often. Because this is a true emperor coming through. Doesn't matter if they're male, female, or non-binary, doesn't matter. Their energy is of the emperor. And they view you as the empress, or the equivalent of that. This is your match that we're talking about. If it doesn't feel like a glove, then that person is not a match. I have to say, or at least not the perfect match, or the best match. So, pile number 2, I do apologize for going on a little bit longer. These videos are turning out to be a little bit longer than I had anticipated, which is not a problem. But as viewers, I always think about how, we don't really have that much retention to, or not retention, but we tend to lose attention as the time goes on. So that's the reason why I like to keep it at a certain time frame. But I apologize. This connection, pile number 2, the love cycle, it's once again, the ball's in your court. And if you're not in a situation in which you're choosing between 1 and 2 person, this is something that you likely will experience very soon. And it will be considered the final exam for you before this new cycle starts. And remember, it's It's how you feel. What is your heart feeling? How do you feel is what's going to give you the answer of who to choose. Pile number 2. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pile number 3? This is for those who picked the Soul Delight Stone. We're about to find out, when will your next love cycle begin? The cards that they gave us are, we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. We also have the Ace of Swords in reverse. We have the 5 of Swords. We also have number 5. This is Teach. This is also the Hierophant. The Hierophant. We also have number 1, New Beginnings. We also have number 3. This is Blossoming Abundance in reverse. We got Fairies, Earth Magic. That's pretty. We also have Emotional Healing. We got Wait. It's the way that pretty much about 75% of you guys just left the video because of this card. But I promise you this information is something that you need to hear. And we also have this card that we can do later. Okay, pile number 3. Baby, I feel as though if you are not someone who's still trying to recover from a past relationship, this pile may not be for you. And that's not a statement that I would normally make, but when the image or when the message I feel is very, very specific, then I just feel like I have no other choice. Okay, the other example though that I can give is whatever you went through in the past that was very devastating, very earth-shattering to you, very like for you, they're making me feel like I lost it all. Like for you, it could be a relationship, it could be a job even, that, or it could just be a person that you no longer have in your life, or in your physical life, but you know, it like the pain, the void, it's still there, and so I guess that way it could be a little bit more inclusive for everyone. But overall, I do feel like the bigger message, or the most loudest message, is those of you guys who have dealt with a significant person in a relationship in the past, and you're still recovering from that. Because that's what it is we have to make sure that we completely eradicate all the residue, the energetic residue from past relationships, and so that we can really step forward into this new cycle with a clean slate. I also have to tell you this. I know the cards that we got aren't necessarily, for the most part, career related, but I do feel like for this group, it's career related as something that you should be focused on as well. I even see that for some of you guys won't have a choice but to focus on your career, because maybe it's been a long time since you've been in another relationship, and that is something that would happen if the universe would like for you to focus on something that they feel should be prioritized at this very moment. But also because I feel like whatever this career or whatever this opportunity could be, it's no small one. We're talking about the golden opportunity, something that's pretty much going to set you for life to being successful. So for a lot of you guys, there's an indication that your focus should be on other things besides relationship. And I think one way that you can heal from a past relationship is to really focus on yourself. And for a lot of you guys, it's going to be by way of career. Shall we begin? We shall. We have Seven of Wands in reverse. You guys are probably at your most vulnerable state ever. And now there is beauty in vulnerability, but this type of vulnerability is more so like I said, empty. Nothing else in life currently moves me the way that love does, romantic love does. Now, you put in high importance on romantic love, and that's great. But this is one of those cases in which it's one of those cases when love is going to come. This is not something that you have to chase. In fact, that's what's not being advised. Or, they don't want you to do it because there's something else that you need to chase. And for a lot of you guys, it's that paper. No, but let's be serious. Seven of Wands, for a lot of you guys, it broke you. Some of you guys, this could have been a marriage. For a lot of you guys, this is a committed relationship with kids involved. So for you, it gave you the indication that this was for the long haul. That's what I feel. Like there was nothing else. Like you had no other choice but to believe that this was going to be the one. Then it wasn't. That still hasn't clicked for a lot of you guys, that it wasn't the one. And even after finding that out, whether I feel like this relationship or whatever this connection was ended by way of betrayal or cheating, infidelity. Like it was something that was done to you behind your back. It was a complete breach in the contract that is our relationship and our union. It was a complete breach in that, to where it felt like there was no way that we could come back from this. And for a lot of you guys, it was shocking. It like absolutely shocking. But you are naturally a strong person, so this is maybe one of the toughest things that you've been through. However, it's also made you stronger, and it's time for that part of the lesson to really come to the forefront. I also feel like for some of you guys, whatever this connection was, it was something that you maybe knew that they were doing things behind your back, or just really disrespecting the connection in a relationship. But some of you guys chose to be oblivious due to maybe kids involved, or for the sake of keeping the family together, which I never understood, but it's a thing where people think that, oh, because we have kids, that we should stay together no matter what. I don't understand why people do that, but they do. But overall, the Seven of Wands indicates vulnerability, but the vulnerability because someone shot through those guarded defense that you typically have. You're normally got a guard, not necessarily like you keep people away, but what I mean is that you're normally such a strong individual, but this was the one thing that did break you. So that's what I'm talking about. And it was a tough lesson, but that's what it was, a lesson. Meaning there's an opportunity for learning and growing here. And Spirit isn't typically sure that this is something that you've done yet, but I do see this is something that you will do. Now we have the Ace of Swords in reverse, meaning that what's not clicking. This is if it's in reverse, it's that what's not clicking card. Because there was a major lesson to be learned here but it went over your head for the most part. A major lesson. And you know what it was? I'll give you the answer. The major lesson was to not. For the most part, you guys have. There's a lot of left on your own personal journey that you still need to explore. You still need to conquer. And whatever this connection was, it was hindering that. Now, I also have to say this. It was meant to give you a sense of self and to really empower you as an individual. It was meant for you to be like, you know what? That happened, but you know what? I'm going to glow up on everyone. I'm going to glow up not only on this person, but on everyone else. My career is going to be on point. My body's going to be on point. My blah, blah, blah is going to be on point. Like, that was the effect that was supposed to happen. But instead, I feel like a lot of you guys have shriveled and have really taken this. I mean, to be honest, we're not going to sit here and pretend like you're not human. You are human, but it feels as though a lot of you guys have been spending a lot more time reminiscing, maybe even longing for that connection or just any connection. And you were supposed to really go into self and really, that was supposed to be the catalyst for you to really develop yourself. Once again, I see a career opportunity that's going to pop out of nowhere for you guys. I see a career opportunity that's going to pop out of nowhere, and it's really going to help shift the focus from love or just from one person to myself, you. And that's when it'll be like the aha moment. And I think this is something that may happen naturally and gradually, especially when this new career comes, because you're going to find yourself like, yo, I actually didn't even think about love today. Or I didn't, and then it'll go to, I didn't think about love this whole week, this month, blah, blah, blah. But that's what we're supposed to do. And I feel like for those of you guys who picked this pile, that for some reason it didn't quite click, but hopefully it did now. We also have the Five of Swords. I feel like for a majority of you guys, it was like either a marriage or a committed relationship, or it was just something about this connection that just made you feel like, yo, this is it. This is where I'm going to be. This is who I'm going to be with for whatever reason. But it wasn't. And I feel like whatever this person may have done to you, you felt like they took a part of you, because I feel like I'm empty now. I also feel like for some of you guys, it was with a person who even after the relationship ended and after all the things that they've done that would made this relationship end, they move on pretty quickly, where you are still trying to process what even happened. But one thing that they're telling me is it was supposed to end. It was absolutely supposed to end. It wasn't meant to be long term. Now, I'm not going to say the relationship was only to ignite this sense of self for yourself, but that was a big reason. That was a big portion. We have number 5, Hierophant. For a lot of you guys, once again, this is for some of you guys, it could have been a marriage. But this also indicates lessons being learned. Lessons being learned. Learning from past experiences. I feel like this time alone that you guys are experiencing hasn't been utilized the way that it needs to. It's not more so that we should focus on love or romantic love. It's more so that we should be focusing on ourselves and really looking at past experiences, not in a place of of resentment or hate or whatever the case may be, but really looking at that like, you know what, I've been through that, but I learned what not to do, or I learned what I deserve. You know what I mean? And for some of you guys, what's also going to solidify that lesson is a banging new career, or a new career opportunity, or a new promotion. It's something else that will really keep you focused on yourself and your own ambitions and your own desires. But I will say this, and I don't want you guys to, because I'm getting a little vibe here that you guys may be the type of person to be like, oh, well, Kenny Terrell said that I'm gonna meet somebody very soon, so it could possibly be February or March, so I'm gonna mark my calendars. I know that's an exaggeration, but I still have to say what I'm feeling, regardless of how you guys may feel about it. This next card we have is number 1, New Beginnings, and I have to feel like, it feels like not only just you, because I feel like the other pals also, it just feels like overall a new love cycle is imminent or approaching rather quickly for just the collective. New beginnings are starting to happen. I feel like with this group, you may experience new beginnings in other aspects of life, which could also mean new beginnings in your love life. For some of you guys, this is a new career that may happen. Some of you guys, this is a new, I'm also hearing trips, like vacation trips. Some of you guys may decide to, take some time for yourself by going on a trip to, I don't know why, I always say Tahiti. I don't know why that always comes, but I just think of, ideal vacation spots. But yeah, it's something, a new career, new opportunity. And for some of you guys, it's relocation or a new trip, new vacation. That's also going to also be a stance, a symbolic stance that from this point on, this is where my new life begins. But low key, this is also where your new love cycle, your new love life begins as well. The person that's coming through, by the way, as your next person is someone who, it's like you and this person fit together. You guys have differences, but these differences work well together with yours. It's very likely that this person could be different in background, cultural backgrounds, or this person could also be a foreigner to you in some way, shape, or form, or you could be a foreigner to them. But I digress. The new beginnings, number 1, is the card of the new cycle starting. And I do feel like for a lot of you guys, it's going to coincide with a new beginning from another aspect of your life, such as career or just relocation. Now we have blossoming abundance in reverse. For a lot of you guys, we want you to focus on career. There's still a lot to be achieved in your own journey. Excuse me. For some of you guys, this relationship in the past, or for a lot of you guys, it could have been a marriage. It was like you felt small. Like you were small when there's a lot more to you. Like I feel like maybe the person that you were with kind of was like, it never felt equal. Like it never felt like the relationship was something that I also contributed, and it was more so like, this person is maybe the breadwinner, or this person is the more dominant one, so they made all the decisions. Nothing that I said really even something that this person considered. Not only that, this person could have been a little bit stifling when it comes to your own wishes and your own dreams that you've had, and maybe you were set to be a certain individual when you're bigger than that. I get whatever this thing is whatever this new beginning is for you, whether it's a new career, new relocation, or new trip. I almost feel like this is something that you've always wanted to do. And now you have the opportunity to do so. And where in the past, that wasn't an option that you felt was available to you. So, but there's money to be made here. They keep talking about that. Like I said, this is probably the only card that's really career related of the cards that you receive, but they are showing me images of money for you guys. And so I have to stand by that. I have to stand by the fact that you guys are meant to focus on your career more so than romantic love, because I see romantic love is going to just fall in like a domino effect. And that's something that you don't have to worry about. But I also feel like the majority of this reading is referring to your healing process, and to allow that to take the time that it needs. Okay? And don't be discouraged about time. Like, don't be discouraged by that. Next card that we have is Fairies, Earth Magic. Now, this card typically refers to something else. Like, for example, this card talks about the actual earth, such as trees, plants. But the earth part of this card is referring to money, and that's the reason why they took it out. Once again, this is... And it's something that you've been avoiding for a long time. You've been avoiding this for a long time. They're telling me that you've been asleep for a long time when it came to this path. I almost feel like this is a group of people who always felt discouraged to try and to really go after their dreams. Especially if you had one of those partners who felt very threatened, even at the mention that you wanted to pursue your dreams. You know what I mean? You know, people like that. But yeah, and I typically do not get that type of interpretation, but that's what I'm getting for this case. But also, the nature aspect of this card does refer to healing as well, and that your spirit team is working with you in order to make sure that we clean it all up, the residue, the energetic residue. But once again, the earth part of this is, for me, referring to physical, material wealth that I see in your future. We have emotional healing, and once again, that is what's going on. And I do feel like even with a career path, even with a new relocation, like the new beginnings state, this new career opportunity as well, that in itself will also be a form of healing for you, because we are trying to rectify you feeling at least small, you feeling undervalued, you feeling unseen, unnoticed, unheard. And this is really an empowering time for you, despite the fact that you may be at your most vulnerable state. But this is the slate that we kind of need to really start building something a little bit more solid. A lot more solid, actually. So once again, this weight card is here to let you know to allow things to heal, allow things to happen naturally, and allow things to basically don't allow time to really be a factor when it comes to romantic love, especially when it's highly indicated that you should be really focusing on other things about your life. the fact of the matter is, most of you guys who are watching this have went through something quite, some may even be say traumatic, but the relationship has caused some damage, and that's what we're trying to heal from. That's just the facts. But at the same time, there is still a lesson to be learned. There still is growth to be achieved from that. So like I said, the opportunity that you're going to pursue, whatever it may be for you, whether it's a new career opportunity that's coming through, a new relocation, for some of you guys, it could just be a vacation of sorts. That is also a form of healing for you. So trust the process, basically. Trust the process. Because you have the time, despite how it may feel. You have the time. But I also said that once again, I do feel like overall the collective will be entering a new love cycle regardless, and I feel like this group as well. But it will happen, it feels like coinciding with another new beginning, another new cycle, whether it's a new financial cycle or a new, self-development, spiritual cycle. The last card that we have is, this is Weeping Willow, Family Sorrow. I do feel, once again, this is what you're healing from. And I do feel like for a majority of you guys, it's in reference to a relationship in which maybe some of you guys did have children with this person. Or maybe it was committed for a very long time to the point where you thought this is someone that you were going to marry. So, it's not to negate how hard that was to experience, but Spirit's almost like time will heal this, but you gotta allow time to do so. Like, have enough compassion in yourself to really heal from this. And I feel like one way that they're really going to speed up the process, because they're also showing me the Wheel of Fortune. So a lot of what's going to happen next, you're not going to see coming, because I kind of feel like a lot of you guys are in this place where you're still longing for that connection, or any connection, or just really deep in the abyss, as I call it. But I feel like there's going to be something else that's really going to pull you out of it. It's going to be unexpected. And I do feel like it has to do with either a career opportunity or an opportunity to relocate or visit or take a vacation or a trip of some sort. Because it's going to really create a new version of yourself, a new empowered version of yourself. And it's also going to, if not completely eradicate some of those feelings that you've had from the past, or really speed up the healing process. Or just the healing process is going to have more effective results, I should say. So, pile number 3, I did go long, and I do apologize for that, but things needed to be said. And I hope that it was heard loud and clear. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pile number 4? This is for those who picked the Amethyst Stone. We're about to find out, when will your next love cycle begin? The cards that they gave us are the King of Wands in reverse. We also have the Six of Cups in reverse. And we also have the best card of the deck. Can you guess what that is? You guessed it, the Sun. Look how bright and vibrant that card is. We also have the Ace of Wands, new vitality. Oh, love that. We also have number 46, domestic harmony. Love this card. We also have number 11. This is cornucopia. We have wolf instinct. Love this card too. We have practice, practice, practice. We have not the right time. Don't click out that video though. Not the right time. We have a lot to talk about. And this card that we'll get into later. So, pile number 4. I feel like you and your fellow other group pick a card group mates, all piles. The next love cycle is imminent. It's imminent, meaning it's not too far away. You can see it from the horizon. It's imminent. You maybe even feel it. That's the energy I got from every pile. But of course, there's nuances, there's differences that separate each pile. But overall, the consensus is a new love cycle is approaching everyone. And I'm not an astrologer, so maybe there's something within maybe something's in retrograde or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But with you specifically, pile number 4, it's about, and this is something that you probably don't want to hear, but I need to say it. I do feel like a lot of you guys who picked this pile are definitely single. I don't get any type of attachment. I don't get any type of like I'm in a relationship. I don't get that. I would be very shocked, because obviously there is a possibility that could be the case, but I would be shocked. I get single, but it's single in a sense that I want, for a lot of you guys, your energy is like, I'm single and I don't enjoy it. When it should be, I'm single and I do enjoy it. I love my life, even in the present moment. And that's what we're trying to develop, and that is, when you do get a sense of that, that's when this new love cycle will start. And ironically, that's how it, I hate to say it. Sometimes, the way the universe likes to do some certain things, I just be like, why? But it is what it is. That's just the case. For you, it's going to require you not thinking about love and not you really focusing on love for it to come. And the way that that's going to happen is that you're going to be focused on something else. I see for this group, you guys are going to be focusing on your own happiness and your own passion. There's one thing in particular that's going to show up, or something that's going to be brought to your attention, that you are going to dive headfirst in and really just commit and enjoy, to the point where you're not even going to have time for you to even think about love. Yes, it's something that you desire, and we know that because it's in the back of our mind, but it's not at the forefront of our mind, because something else will be. Something else will give us happiness and joy. The point is to find happiness and joy and contentment in how your life currently is, for all the beauty that it is, and not necessarily needing another individual to come in to add that. That's a common lesson in spirituality, but for you, it's something that definitely needs to be heard. And let's begin. We have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is in reverse in this case, but it's only in reverse because it should be like this. So, although this could indicate shadow aspects, that's not necessarily what I'm getting. I'm getting that this is naturally who you are. This is someone who is a lover of life. This is someone who believes anything can happen, and I can make anything happen. This is people who, especially when it comes to careers, they're not going to do something unless it actually moves them, unless they're actually passionate about it. It's passion that we're referring to. And we need to change our perspective. pretty much, because I feel like maybe this is naturally who you are, the King of Wands upright. This is the visionary, this is the inventor, this is the idea person, but this is also the executor, someone who can actually make things happen. This person has too much passion and too much ambition to stay still and to be dwelling on what they don't have. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of you guys, it's a matter of changing your perspective. Like that. But also, there's an idea, there's a concept, there's maybe a project or maybe an opportunity that you will be involved with that is going to further propel this passion of yours, this passion for life. Give you reason to live again. I'm also getting like solar plexus type of energy because with all the yellow. Some of you guys don't necessarily feel like life is currently worth living due to the fact that you are single. And we can't have that. So your spirit team is like, there's a glitch. We need to fix this. We need to remedy this. Because that's not who you are, is what they're saying. Whatever this venture is, you're going to be very successful in, by the way. Very successful. And you know why? Too much passion, too much ambition. Like, how could you not be successful? It's one of those things where you get an idea or you get a concept or you get an opportunity and you just run with it. And nothing can stop you. But I do feel that before that even arrives, before your passion is completely reignited, I do believe there is something about your life currently as it is that you still should find joy in. You know, there's also beauty in how your life currently is, whether it's maybe waking up to a glass of coffee and enjoying that, or maybe going outside and actually smelling the roses, literally. Whatever that is for you, this is something that you need to discover. But overall, I do see there's going to be a bigger project or a bigger opportunity. I do feel like it's career related though, because there is material success that's also going to be the result of that. Now we also have the Six of Cups in reverse. So this is being stuck on the past, essentially. Being stuck on the past, something that occurred in the past, something that you still think about. For some of you guys, still think about like, did I make the right decision or did I not make the right decision? I feel like some of you guys could have definitely took a turn from a path that you've been on for maybe a very long time and decided to change, decided to do something different. And you still wonder if that was a correct decision. It was. Some of you guys, the King of Wands indicates entrepreneurship. It's not to say that everyone in here are entrepreneurs, but the King of Wands is my entrepreneur. And oftentimes, the struggle is whether or not the decision to leave traditional employment was the right one. But for others guys, you are going to be given like a aha moment or an epiphany in which you realize, yo, life is actually kind of great right now, and I can actually make it better, even more better. For some of you guys, it could also be that you made the decision to switch to entrepreneurship and you don't see nothing happening, so to speak, or things are moving quite slow. I do feel like it's something that you really, whatever this project is, or whatever this entrepreneurship endeavor is, it would have to be something that you're very passionate about and not necessarily worried about the timing of when things will finally blow up. But the Sun card here indicates that it will blow up in the best possible way. Just timing. But once again, the Six of Cups indicates you still relishing on past situations, things that are meant to be in the past. But I also feel like, once again, it could also indicate you going back to the other interpretation is nostalgia. and you going back to that feeling of being a kid, to where you never really had to worry about responsibilities. All you had to do was wake up and enjoy, what life presented to you. And really, I always bring up this example because the example of when people used to ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's never entrepreneurship. It's never, I want to be a CEO of a company. It's never that. It's usually, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a zookeeper, or I want to be, something else that could possibly be what adults may feel is out of the realms of possibility. To a kid, it's complete and totally possible. It's that complete and total wonder and love for life, in the sense that anything can happen, and I can make anything happen. Life is what I make it. This is very magician energy as well in this group. For some of you guys, it's like being stuck on a decision that I've made and kind of maybe even regretting it. Don't do that, because you made the right decision. You are where you're supposed to be, but we have to look at it differently. And for others, you guys, it's a matter of going back to how you used to feel and how you used to think as a kid, and have that same imagination, because that's where you thrive. Thinking outside the box, or just making your imagination come to reality. Now we also have the Sun card. Yes, sir. Now they're also showing me the image of the Justice card in reverse, so it's only a matter of time. Really, it's only a matter of time before you really truly reach the pinnacle of happiness and joy in your eyes, in your definition. However, you are supposed to embed, or you're supposed to have this energy already embedded within you. And this is something that we're trying to form. The card says, I usually ignore what this card says, but this card in particular says, I am optimistic and appreciate all I have. And it's totally relevant to the message that they've been given, because it's about developing a different perspective of life. Like, even in its present moment, there's still a lot to be grateful for. There's still a lot to find beautiful. There's still a lot to enjoy, even if I'm single. And once again, there is a specific project or a specific endeavor that you are going to, maybe I kind of feel like for some of you guys, you've already been working on this, and maybe it was just time for you to really fully commit to it. But there is going to be a resurgence of passion. This is a passion for life. This is also a passion for a particular endeavor or a particular project, or just, once again, the card, new vitality. This is like new life, a new reason to live even. The person that's coming in next is your counterpart. So they're showing me the Queen of Wands image as well. So the person that you are going to be matching with is also very passionate, is also very much a go-getter, and very much someone who is very magical in a sense, to where they truly believe, and they can truly believe that they could actually make whatever they think about, their imagination, come to life. And you're going to feel like that too with this card here. Whatever you create, even, because this could even be a creative endeavor as well, is really going to be something that sparks a fire within you. That's just fire that cannot be. It's a fire that will never go out. This is major change. Major change. It's like I've been in the abyss, like nothing's super bright, to all of a sudden everything, life now has color. Because before it was very melancholic, but now life has color. I do see entrepreneurship for a lot of you guys and success in that. They also show me the image of the Nine of Pentacles, which that card is perfect that they showed that image for, because not only does it mean entrepreneurship, or it could indicate that, but it also indicates great success, but also contentment on how life is currently. Also the beauty of life and being content and happy with the version that it is currently. Not the version that it could be, but the version that it is. It also indicates peace, what this card also talks about. This is 46, domestic harmony. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit anxious, or maybe a little bit confused, or a little bit concerned for the future. This is where you're going to have complete and utter trust in the universe, but not only in the universe, but also yourself. This moment, or this, because it really is a moment, really, even though it's a full cycle that you've been in, but this moment of solitude even, or just singlehood, was essentially a gift, to be honest. It was here to really create a very freedom type effect for you, to where some of you guys probably even lost jobs prior to this, and maybe that's why you were kind of like in the abyss, but it wasn't done to you, it was done for you. You were meant to have this period in which you had fun, really defining what life is going to be from this point on. It was supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that you have fun creating. Because spirit is almost like, whatever you go, we're there with you. But just know that what you did before, it's not going to work, and we can't go back. And for a lot of you guys, we can't go back to traditional career. You hate having authority over you. You hate the structure that regular employment offers, and you hate not necessarily being at the forefront of your own success. Like, that's the type of image or the type of feelings that they're giving me. Like, this was supposed to be the most tranquil, the most peaceful time that you probably had in a very long time. But I feel like some of you guys are seeing it maybe not in that point of view, and that's the reason why we need to change that. But I do feel like that almost epiphany that you had, that you will have if you haven't had it already, is really going to be what shifts and really brings forward not only this new love cycle, but I also see a new cycle in career. And this also speaks about confidence as well. Confidence in knowing that things are all working out the way that you kind of designed it, or that you will design it. I do feel like for the majority of you guys, there's something that you've already been working on, and maybe have been waiting for this resurgence and passion. Maybe a resurgence of clients is what's going to give it to you. But there is going to be like a rise of the phoenix that's going to be happening for you. And it's the best thing that could have ever happened, because it's going to change your life in the best possible way. Yeah. Of course, it's going to be different for everyone. But just know that this period of me being single is not meant to be met with resentment, frustration, sadness. No. Look at all this color. Look at all these bright colors. If there's no hint of period of like sadness, none of that in your reading, meaning that should not be the point. The point is, it's meant to be colorful. It's meant to be something that you enjoy. It's meant to be something that you get inspiration from. That's what this is for. Now we have this card. I love this card. I really do. This is number 11, Cornucopia. For this card has many meanings, and I haven't read the book in a very long time. The book that it came with it, and so it kind of morphed into my own interpretation that me and Spirit has. But for me, this card indicates abundance and also happiness. This card indicates everything that you could ever want, everything that you wish for coming to fruition. And also for those of you guys who resonate with the twin flame concept, I typically refer to this card as a twin flame card because obviously the 1/1. But also because for you, pile number 4, they're also showing me the world card image. So this is part of your journey, part of your destiny. You are meant to go this path, and I also feel like this path will ultimately lead you to the person that you're meant to be with. And I do feel like the person that you're meant to be with is your divine counterpart, and they will be very similar as far as their passion, as far as their ambition, as far as their career goals, things like that. Like, I see a power couple. Some people don't like that term, but I do, and I'm going to use it because that's what I feel. But this is very active, you know what I mean? I see a lot of you guys are going to actively change your life somehow. And maybe that could be because you guys accepted a new opportunity or a new career opportunity. But this is active energy, and I feel like your person that's coming through is also doing the same thing. We have Wolf Instinct. The first thing that this says is that you have actually great business instinct and great intelligence, very sharp. So I think whatever lies ahead, especially when it comes to career, it's something that you are meant to do. It's going to be something that you are good enough to do. So that could indicate that maybe with the career opportunity that's coming, maybe there's people who have higher level degrees that normally gets the job, but you got it instead. That was meant to happen. There's just some things that people naturally have that a school can't teach them. But overall, I do feel like this is perspective as well that's also being developed overall. And I think once you do achieve it, it's not going to go away. It's like once that thought comes to your mind, you'll keep it and hold on to it. And you'll fully commit to that. And this perspective that I'm referring to is how life is enjoyable, and life is what I make it. Maybe that's a message that can go for anyone, but for you specifically, because the aura is very magician-like, so you are in a very pivotal time in your life to where you have the power that you wield can really change your reality. But you gotta have the confidence, you really gotta have the perspective and really commit to it. I see careers happening finally, I see a new opportunity. I see a new, like a buttload of new clients. For some of you guys, this is a new traditional career opportunity, but I do feel like it's going to be one where you have a little bit more control, whether it's creative control or where you're kind of in a driver's seat. It feels like it's not going to be where you're just a regular, normal employee. It's not going to be one of those. No, it's going to be something else where you have a little bit more say as to what goes on or how things are going to be done. We also have practice, practice, practice. This card says, with daily practice, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. Increase your confidence is the key phrase, the key part of this. Meaning take it step by step, or take it day by day. There's no rush. There is no rush at all. Take it day by day when it comes to just enjoying life. What I do to enjoy life, despite or a lack of what I feel may be going on, or maybe what may be happening, music is integral to my well-being. Without music, it's a wrap for me. I do have to have time in which I need to go into nature, and I visit the botanical gardens quite often. I need to go quite soon, but your boy has been lagging. But that's something that I also find enjoyment from. I find enjoyment just from, I'm not the cleanest person, but I do find enjoyment in coming to a clean home, a clean house. So I do clean quite frequently. And also, I find enjoyment by getting, my favorite food every now and then. I may not be the most healthiest option, but I do like to treat myself every now and then, or maybe spend a day in which I do self-care, where I go to the spa or something like that. Find whatever that is for you and try to make it a routine. This is a process that we're doing, but I do feel like there's going to be one thing that you completely stick to that is just going to completely change your whole perspective, and that's how you're going to achieve success. And new love cycle is going to come in as a domino effect. So this card should not make you sad or frustrated, because they're all right. It may not be the time now, but the time is coming for a new love cycle to start. But when it happens, I almost feel like you're not going to be as focused on it as you probably are today, which is a great thing. Because Spirit likes to hit you upside the head with a new relationship or a new opportunity without you knowing. Spirit or the universe loves doing that. And I feel like that's what's going to happen for you. The last card that we have is Spear, and it says heartache over what you no longer have. This could be referring to a relationship or a past job. The point is, it ended for a reason, and it needed to, because we are on a brand new path, brand new journey. And maybe, you went on this path kicking and screaming, but we're here now, so we got to make the best of it, and you will. With that being said, you guys, I have to go. This is going near 30-minute mark where the camera shuts off, so I hope that you enjoy this. The love cycle is around the corner. It really is. But it starts with you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But I'll catch you guys next time.